Alright, you guys, so let's go ahead and get into this review. And I am late as I don't know what, and I apologize for that. But anyways, we start on the show, and basically Jax is, doing the same thing that his dad did. He was writing to his sons and speaking about, life basically, and all that stuff. So it wasn't anything that was too deep, but it was just kind of like an emotional tie. Him, doing something that his dad did. He's doing it for his two boys. So Bobby decides to take it upon himself to bring Clay to the table to vote on basically Mr. Mayhem and his patches, whether or not he's going to stay in the club and whether or not they're going to go ahead and off him. Clay decides to spill the beans. He tells everything pretty much. He's just coming clean, I guess, making peace with what he's done and trying to right some of his wrongs. I don't know. Like I said, they're trying to give us an emotional side of Clay. Whatever. But everybody basically votes on taking his patches, and everyone, pretty much except for Bobby, I think, voted on going ahead and doing Mr. Mayhem. And I think it has to be unanimous, so they're not going to kill him, but he's out of the club. Now, I wonder, and I think someone else I was speaking to was wondering this as well, whether or not maybe Bobby knows something that Jax doesn't know. But then again, at the same time, I know what Bobby was saying is basically, I'm saving you from yourself when he was talking to Jax. I'm saving you from becoming the person that you want to kill, the person that you hate, because this is what that chair does to you. So I'm saving you. I'm helping you. You don't see it now, but you may see it later. Jackson, in no uncertain terms, tells Bobby when he's emotional about it. It's like, Opie was right. This chair, it's no good. It corrupts people. And like I said before on several videos, heavy is the head that wears the crown. It's different once you take control of something. Once you're in charge, no matter how much you want to do right, something just goes wrong, and you make decisions thinking that you're making the right decision. You make the wrong decision, and sooner or later it's very easy to make decisions that are not necessarily on the good side. It becomes very easy to make a bad decision. Hell, truthfully, to begin with, it's easier to do wrong stuff than it is to necessarily always do the right thing. So he's like, Oprah's right. But Oprah's gone, so Jax goes to one of my favorite characters. He is visiting Pope, and prior to that, Tara is visiting with a lawyer. She's a little bit shook about the whole, speaking on the killing with the crucifix in Otto. But anyways, back to Pope and Jax. He's speaking to Pope, and he's telling him what's going on as far as the revenge thing. Pope tells him democracy is overrated, but he tells him, basically, if you want revenge, sometimes you can't have it the personal way. You can't have it your way. You have to sometimes, occasionally, sit back and wait for it to come by other means. So everything went from sugar to shit with the meeting with the cartel and everybody. But that kind of is not even as important as the fact that fucking Clay jumped on, or Jax jumped on Clay, like, just wore him out. And as Jimmy said, that was brutal. He needed that ass whooping. That ass whooping was coming, and it was coming for a very long time, and he deserved it. He earned that one. That one was for him. He put in a lot of work to get that ass whooping, and he got it. So I don't feel bad for him. I don't care how much of the softer side of Sears or softer side of Clay that we're seeing, He needed it, and he got it. So the Irish are pissed. The Irish snatch up Wendy. Wendy's not really a big deal. Tara had let Wendy see the kids. Jax is not feeling it. When the Irish have Wendy, they tell her the whole thing about Abel being kidnapped and all that stuff, and she's threatening to go ahead and try to take custody. Seeing that he was kidnapped and you're in a club and all of this stuff that's going on, she thinks she's going to get full custody. Well, I was like, okay, look, I don't know what made her think that she was just going to be able to run off at the mouth and say all these things and stress them both out, meaning Tara and Jax, and it was just going to be okay. Like, there's nothing under the sun that makes me foresee that that's just going to happen. So I was like, I would have doped her ass up. And before we even seen that part of the episode transpired, sure enough, that's what I was saying. And sure enough, that's what the hell he did. The vampire from Blade had seen Tara and basically came into her office and was kind of going under the guise that my sister was the one who was killed or murdered, and I'm just looking for some information. And he kind of lets loose on the whole fact that he was also a what was it, like FBI, the feds, agent, DEA, and marshal. Was he a marshal? I think he was a marshal. And he's letting into basically he's pissed off and he wants revenge, and he knows that, or I don't know if he necessarily wants revenge, but he wants a little bit of payback, I guess. I don't even know how to say it because I don't know, but he's pissed, and that's showing. And she knows that he knows this, all this stuff was going on, and she knows that he knows all the stuff pertaining to Otto. And she lets Jax know, she informs him, yeah, he's pissed because it was personal. It was his sister. He's going to want some kind of retribution for his sister's death in order to save the club and make Rico go away. Maybe he should have picked a different chick to kill, or the other guard or something of that sort, as far as Otto. Clay tells the Irish that he needs to catch a ride to Belfast, and he has every intention on trying to take Gemma with him. I don't think he asked. Maybe you should ask, because she damn sure ain't trying to leave Nero, right? Okay, so he's trying to catch a ride to Belfast. The Irish kind of, have no issue with him. They love him. No problem. Catch a ride, I got you. And she can come too, as long as she doesn't pack like my wife packs, or whatever he said. So, yeah. I think Clay is putting 20 on 10. He thinks that everything's going to be okay. Yeah, Jax wants to kill his ass, and that's why he has to get it all dodged. But that's not necessarily going to always transpire. I don't really want to see them go back to Belfast. As far as, like, they had the whole season when they were over there trying to find Abel. I'm not really interested in them going back over there trying to do the whole Belfast Irish thing. I like to see their ass go east. Maybe East Coast or down south. I don't know. But leave California. That would be more interesting. But back over in Belfast, nah. Nero fronts the cost for the guys. They need the money and all that stuff. And Jax tells him no. It's because that's Nero's exit money. And Nero's like, I've had the money to buy the farm, but he just hasn't done it. And this is his life. This is the life that he's chose. This is the life that he leads. This is the life that he's in. If he really wanted out, he could have got out a long time ago. This is just old habits die hard. Alright. The episode ends with the most probably semi-dramatic, nostalgic, there's all these emotions because it doesn't end in the same, I guess you would say, format as it did in a prior season when they, in order to get the tats off the guy, they took the liquor and burnt that shit off his back. It didn't end in that fashion. They Happy inked out all of his Reaper tattoos, all of his SOA tattoos, his Sam Crow tattoos. Everything has to go. Can I opt for laser tattoo removal? But no, it has to go. That's one of the rules. When you're out, all that shit goes. Hopefully Jax never has to get out because his whole back is supposed to be tatted up, and that shit is not gonna look right as far as inking it out in black. And so anyways, as far as Clay goes, it has to be a little bit bittersweet because now, well, first of all, Jax has the ability now to change the club rules, to alter them as he sees fit, as long as the other guys in the club agree to it. But Clay has to feel some kind of way because he is one of the originals. He's one of the people who started it. But at the same time, your ass is the one who killed some of the brothers who were originals with you. So some of the older members of the club, you can't expect that karma's not going to come back around full circle and fuck you up. And that's basically what it did. Here you are, the oldest, probably, I think he's probably the oldest member around now that was in original. So, or originally, so without a doubt, it has to feel strange, odd. Probably brings back memories of John Teller. I mean, it has to have a real strange feeling to know that your ass started this and you're being put out. It's like fucking, I don't know. You start a business, other people, you know, they own shares in it, and they decide, guess what? Your ass is no longer in the business anymore. It's almost like a fucking hostile takeover, but it's not. And he made his bed, so he has to lay in it. Anyways, that is it. Tomorrow, since today's Monday, tomorrow is our season finale. I'm kind of happy about it. Although I love SOA, I'm a little bit tired of doing the reviews just because it's not as exciting as it could be. Right now, Shah's of Sunset is on, which I could review, and I might do some reviews on. I'm not going to say 100% for sure. I mean, it's a reality show, so it might be more interesting. I particularly like the show, but yeah. Until next time, you guys.